It's a pretty common trope that child stars often have trouble in their transition to adulthood, from public outbursts to crash outs. Something about that environment leads to troubles, and one of the most recent examples of this phenomenon is Bella Thorne. Starting with a tragic upbringing with the death of her father, she was able to pull her family out of poverty by booking a leading role on the Disney Channel. As an adult, she's pivoted to be more of a social media influencer, though much of this success comes from oversharing, getting into drama, and most importantly, delving into the taboo, from being in a three-person relationship with Tana Mojo, directing X-rated videos, and starting an OnlyFans. Well, today I plan to delve deep into this tale, but to start this story, we'll first have to go back to the beginning. Annabella Avery Thorne was born in Miami, Florida on October 8, 1997. Her parents, Tamara and Delancey Thorne, heavily invested their time in their 4 kids, bringing them up as child models and pushing them to pursue acting roles. They took this to such an extreme that Bella wasn't even born yet when her mother booked her first job.
I started modeling when I was 6 weeks old, so I was just always working.
Since you were straight out of the womb.
As a child, she enjoyed having her picture taken and reflects on these past experiences positively.
Do you feel like you hold any resentment, or you did hold resentment for having to work so young?
I don't think so. It gave me everything that I have now, and it also gave me this workhorse mentality.
Despite the siblings bringing in paychecks, Bella's parents experienced financial issues early on. The young girl struggled in school, becoming a target for bullies because of her reading difficulties since Spanish was her first language. This was due to the fact that her father's family was Cuban and he taught all of the children to speak Spanish first. Not having a firm grasp on English wasn't the only problem with Bella's ability to read. At only 6 years old, she was diagnosed with dyslexia but didn't receive the proper interventions as her teacher enjoyed tormenting the first grader.
She really went out of her way to bully me and in front of classmates, make me get up and read knowing I couldn't, make me stay there.
Acting and modeling was an escape for the young star, who had her first film appearance in the 2003 movie Stuck on You, and not too long after, the family made the difficult choice to uproot their lives to Los Angeles for more opportunity. Unfortunately, this came at a high cost, as their father was unable to leave his work and had to remain in Miami. On top of this, due to the hectic acting schedules of all 4 children, their mother decided to homeschool them, which worsened Bella's reading, since she needed more specialized attention. She experienced anxiety early on, realizing it would be impossible to be an actress if she couldn't read scripts. Living in Los Angeles intensified the family's financial woes, and things were about to get much worse when an unimaginable tragedy struck the Thornes on April 25, 2007. At just 9 years old, Bella learned that her father had been killed in a motorcycle accident back in Florida. Mrs. Thorne could not believe the news, as her husband was supposed to be reunited with his family that week after not seeing his children for several months.
And I walked out and she was against the wall and she fell to the floor and she's on the phone and she's just screaming bloody murder like an animal being slaughtered is what it sounded like. I'll never forget those screams.
Distraught, the now single mother of 4 only had enough money for herself to fly to Florida to make the funeral arrangements. To make matters worse, the Thornes' house was robbed and Bella's father's family refused to attend the funeral.
And I think my mom has always felt that way in her life. You know, we don't have much family, and my father's side is Jehovah's Witness, and they disowned him. So they wouldn't even come to the cremation, and I know that hurt my mom a lot.
When her mother returned, their money troubles were so bad that food became scarce due to their situation. Beyond not having their dad's income to support them, her mother's credit was ruined due to their father's poor financial decisions. The young star recalls a particularly traumatic moment when her mother, in a fit of frustration, showed the children a picture of their dead father right before he was cremated to get them to stop arguing. When all hope seemed to be lost, the Thorne family finally experienced some good news when Bella booked a role on the show Dirty Sexy Money, which was her first major TV appearance. The following year, she starred on another show with Taylor Lautner and Christian Slater called My Own Worst Enemy, where she ended up winning a Young Artist Award. Even though Bella would end up getting a few other gigs during this period, she had been turned down in several auditions for looking too, quote, bitchy because of her naturally blonde hair. She was even passed over for a role when a director accused the prepubescent girl of making him uncomfortable.
A director in a callback said he felt like I was flirting with him.
At 10 years old, that's fucking insane.
Insane.
In 2008, Bella ended up dyeing her hair red to replace an actress for the HBO show Big Love about a polyamorous family. Little did she know that this new hair color was about to change her life completely. Around 2009, she was offered an audition by Disney for the TV show Shake It Up, a series about two best friends who get the opportunity to be background dancers for a fictional show called Shake It Up Chicago. When she met the casting directors, they loved her red hair, and even though Bella told them she wasn't funny and couldn't dance, they offered her the job anyway. Originally, Bella wasn't super interested in being in a comedy and didn't grow up watching Disney, preferring horror movies, but she was forced to take the job due to the family's troubles. Slowly, her family was able to stabilize itself because of the Disney paychecks, which allowed them to keep their home and buy food. Even better, Shake It Up became a hit and Bella received media attention along with her co-stars Zendaya. Despite this, Bella still struggled with having to learn how to dance and being unable to read. Luckily, while on set of Disney, she met a tutor that changed her life forever. This teacher took the time to help Bella with her dyslexia, and for the first time in her life, she started to have more confidence in her education. Additionally, when the show's producers heard about her disability, they wrote it into the show as a major plot point. Suddenly, overnight, Bella Thorne became the face for people with dyslexia.
My name is Bella Thorne, and this is the story of the time I found out I have dyslexia.
By 2010, Disney believed they had found their next pop star and invested time and money into the young girl beyond her acting career. Bella released her first single with Zendaya called Watch Me, and it ended up reaching 86 on the Billboard Hot 100. But Disney's support of the young star was about to change the following year when the 13-year-old was photographed in a bikini. The picture went viral, and according to Bella, she was nearly fired by the corporation and told in the future to only wear baggy outfits on the beach. Disney denies this.
They said, "You're lucky that Bella has such a fan base that we can't afford to fire her at this moment in time, but if she does one more other thing, we will."
Terrified of losing the stable income, Bella did her best to conform to the channel's constraints, even going so far as to change her voice.
They literally, like, I spoke in interviews when you like look up these little clips of me when I'm speaking on the carpet, and you can hear my little tiny sweet voice.
Wow, so you were acting all the time.
Yeah.
This seemed to put producers at ease as they cast her in a Disney Channel original movie called Frenemies in 2012, and she released another song called TTYLXOX that same year, signing with Hollywood Records in 2013. These opportunities were crucial for the 15-year-old because Shake It Up was suddenly canceled after just 3 years, and the young girl's family was terrified that they would end up broke yet again. There is no clear reason as to why the show ended up being canceled, but some say it was because of the tension between Bella and her co-star Zendaya. The actress even admitted that they didn't get along because the network pitted them against each other. Later on, the girls did talk everything out, and Bella claims that they are on good terms but don't hang out often because of work obligations.
Yeah, well, I think we mostly text on birthdays and things like that. When something good happens in the other person's life, we'll both shoot each other a text. I think the last time I saw her was her birthday party.
Stepping away from Disney, Bella released a young adult novel series, the first being called Autumn Falls. The collection totaled 3 books that followed a teenage girl with links to the supernatural. It reads like a diary, and there are clear comparisons to Bella's real life, as a plot point is the sudden death of the main character's father. As for her acting, even though she severed connections with Disney, the roles Bella took were for comedies such as Blended and The Duff. The star claims that some directors refused to let her even audition for dramas because she was no longer viewed seriously.
I had a lot of casting directors that were like, absolutely won't read her. Sorry, no. And I had made good with those casting directors already. So it was like, whoa, what the f***? Like, just because I was on the Disney Channel?
In 2014, her debut album with Hollywood Studios was cancelled because Bella was unhappy about how she sounded and called it, quote, auto-tuned bad music. The 18-year-old continued to act in different TV shows and came out as bisexual in response to a fan tweet in August of 2016. She would later blame her sexuality as the reason she wasn't able to book roles.
I got some heat for that, which was okay, and I lost a lot of jobs.
Following the announcement, Bella posted images of herself kissing a woman named Bella Pendergast, which stunned the general public due to the fact Miss Pendergast had previously dated Thorne's brother Remy. Though looking back on the event, it seems they never formally dated. She would then officially start dating actor Tyler Posey. Things got messy when the two separated and the teen was thought to have moved on with singer Charlie Puth. However, scandal would begin to brew when Charlie accused Miss Thorne of being a cheater. Outraged, Bella alleged that Puth made these claims because she wouldn't sleep with him. Even with this tabloid drama, it didn't stop her work, as in 2017, Bella took a job on Famous in Love, a show on ABC's Freeform network. It was also during this time that the 19-year-old was seen with 33-year-old Scott Disick, Kourtney Kardashian's baby daddy. The internet exploded as people speculated about the odd pairing and huge age gap. Their relationship was mentioned in an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, who were unhappy with the situation.
It's not a good look for Scott.
At all.
At all.
Talk to me about it.
It was also at this time that Bella started posting lewd pictures on social media and was seen smoking and partying. The crazy tabloid stories, the party girl behavior, and Twitter rants were about to catch up with the former child star. Bella's show, Famous in Love, was cancelled with no formal reason, but it was rumored to be because Miss Thorne was seen as a loose cannon, and no one liked dealing with her. It's never been confirmed if this is true or not, but the star claims these rumors hurt her career, and everyone was nervous about hiring the actress following this. Frustrated with the public's perception of her, in January of 2018, Bella responded to a bizarre fan question asking whether or not she had been molested. Miss Thorne is notorious for getting fed up with commenters and often responding with rage. However, no one was prepared when the Twitter star wrote back on Twitter, "Yeah, I was." Social media users were shocked to learn about the star's past trauma, and people speculated about who violated the actress. Following this, Bella made an official statement on Instagram which was much more level-headed. "Over and over I waited for it to stop, and finally it did. But some of us aren't as lucky to get out alive. Please today stand up for every soul mistreated. #TimesUp." Immediately after, news outlets reached out to Bella's mother, who claimed to not know her youngest daughter had been abused from 6 to 14 years of age, right under her roof.
Now, Bella's mother is speaking out exclusively to Daily Mail TV, saying she never knew.
Bella did not believe her mother's statements and claimed many people knew what was happening, but turned a blind eye to the situation. Later, the young woman would talk further about the abuse she endured, but refuses to name the man who did this to her since he was so close to her family.
And the things that happen are very gross. And you don't want people to picture it, which is also why I didn't go into detail about the things that actually happened.
Yeah.
Bella explained that she believed what was happening to her was normal at the time because of its frequency, but eventually realized the severity of the situation due to how it impacted her sexual relationships later in life, leading her to seek therapy.
The body is so odd. Like, you would think that because of my experience that I don't like rough sex. It's the exact opposite. I don't like soft sex.
While working through her trauma, the actress learned that the chest pain she experienced as a child star were actually panic attacks, and that she had been unknowingly struggling with this condition for years. The pressure of supporting her family from a young age caused these intense attacks to impact Bella's ability to eat, leading to significant weight loss.
I can't physically eat when I'm really anxious, and when I'm on set all the time, and you know too, like when you have a lot of things coming up, like for me, if I start chewing food, I'll like actually throw up in my mouth.
Her stomach troubles were so debilitating that she underwent a colonoscopy, but her medical team discovered nothing unusual and recommended Xanax, which Bella refused. Unlike many other former child actors, Miss Thorne claims to have never got into hard drugs, and those closest to her attest to her refusal for even Tylenol.
Just to clear the air about her too, is like she like smokes weed and drinks. That's
she didn't enable it. Okay.
She wasn't an enabler, no,
So
not at all, and
it,
especially from Blow.
Right.
She wasn't hating on me. She never did that, right?
Most troubling was Bella's realization that she had wanted to end her own life growing up because of the pressures of supporting her family and absurd work schedule. To this day, she continues to struggle with depression. The social media star's openness about her traumatic past and daily struggles led to her building a huge fan base online that could relate. The now 21-year-old leaned into the oversharing, which sometimes caused her to get into trouble. One example of her mouth getting her into hot water is when she was stuck in traffic and tweeted, "F you 101 to Santa Barbara, I'm missing my boyfriend's first date on his tour." While not a super inflammatory tweet on its own, when applied within the context of California experiencing severe mudslides that ended up resulting in several people losing their homes and 17 people, including 4 children, being killed, this tweet became controversial. It's unlikely Bella knew this was causing the traffic, but actor Rob Lowe wasted no time in calling her out. "This attitude is why people hate celebrities/Hollywood. Bella, I'm sorry you were inconvenienced. We will try to move our dead quicker." Miss Thorne deleted her message the following day and apologized, but the damage had already been done. She also got into drama for some tweets following her nude photo shoot for the cover of GQ Mexico. The actress asked for her image to not be retouched, and when it was, she reacted in a furious rant stating, "I get it, but f*** it. I'm here to tell you that's right. I'm not f***ing perfect. I'm a human being and I'm real. So hip-hop your asses over the fence and get over it at GQ Mexico." It was another instance of her timing being bad, as this was in the midst of the very politicized US-Mexico border crisis, which prompted many of her followers to take offense to her wording, and she risked being, quote, "canceled" yet again. Between dating rapper Lil Peep and musician Black Bear, she decided to take on another business venture around this same era, creating her own record label named Filthy Fangs. Thorne has explained that she was inspired while filming the romantic drama Midnight Sun about a musician allergic to the day. While dreaming up her new project, she met rapper Mod Sun, whose real name is Derek Ryan Smith. Sun, who was 31 at the time, had a drug problem just like her last boyfriend Lil Peep, but shared Bella's passion for music, and soon the two seriously started dating. Despite the rapper's substance abuse, Bella managed to avoid getting involved, but the two enjoyed a party lifestyle, meeting up with various celebrities, influencers, and YouTubers. Bella even starred in a Logan Paul music video. While in this circle, the couple met Tana Mojo, a popular YouTuber known at the time for her storytime videos, and is also featured on my list of 100 white YouTubers who said the N-word.
"He f***ed me with a toothbrush!"
Tana would post a tweet saying she wanted to date Thorne, which surprisingly got the actress's attention, and when they finally met, Bella ended up kissing the YouTuber to, quote, "break the internet." They received tons of attention from the stunts, and continued to be seen hanging out together, sometimes with Mod Sun and sometimes without, in 2018. Mod and Tana felt like they were competing for Bella's attention, and originally disliked each other. Things began to change when Tana started making music with the rapper, and they began to bond. Soon, the three of them engaged in what the media called a polyamorous relationship that generated an insane amount of attention. As for work, Bella finally started to release her music again. She also launched a makeup and clothing line under the Filthy Fangs name as well. While her clothing line seems to have never been fully released, she ran into controversy for her eyeshadow palette. Online critics pointed out that her makeup was incredibly similar to a black-owned indie brand called Juvia's Place. Juvia's Place publicly called out Bella for stealing from the smaller brand, and the actress was quick to clap back on Instagram. "Shout out to anyone dumb enough to say that every makeup palette looks the same. Bro, because guess what? Every makeup palette looks the same. Except for mine. It don't look the same as anyone's." Most of Bella's fans agreed that even if the similarities weren't intentional, this was the wrong way of dealing with the situation. As if the star didn't have enough negative media attention surrounding her name, she ended up splitting from Tana. It's unclear exactly why they ended things, but the breakup turned messy when Bella released a song about her ex eloquently called "Stupid F***ing Bitch." Tana filmed a reaction video with her friend to the inflammatory music video referring to Miss Mojo as a dirty bitch who is ruining her image. Beyond to just posting a response video, the YouTuber took to Twitter to call Bella a narcissist. Things for Bella and Maud weren't going well either, despite them getting married, although they never filed the official paperwork, so no, they weren't married after all. It's interesting because Tana pulled a similar stunt with Jake Paul around the same time period. What fully ended Bella and Maud's relationship involved an argument over Coachella. Thorne claims that she wanted to go to the music events, but Maud wanted her to stay with him because he was going through a difficult time. When she refused to comply with the rapper, he texted her that they were over. After the breakup, Maud's son's drug addiction worsened, and he went on a 10-day bender that nearly ended his life. The rapper claims he was doing an 8-ball every 2 days, resulting in him becoming unconscious for 12 hours. When he woke up, the musician was grateful to be alive and decided to get sober. Despite this, he suffered permanent nose damage and an eating disorder from the excessive cocaine use. Things between Bella and Maud worsened because the actress accused him of stealing her passport and laptop. Son denies this and throws back the accusation that Bella broke into his house, with him even calling the cops on her. Despite telling news outlets that he was going to sell her belongings online, Maud claims that was merely a joke.
I figure if she doesn't get it soon, I'm gonna have a really, really poppin' eBay site. So anybody, watching right now, just keep your eyes out, man.
The rapper was now clean, but still heartbroken after the breakup, and the only other person who understood how he was feeling was the other person Bella had deserted, Tana Mojo. In a bizarre turn of events, the YouTuber and rapper began to date monogamously before breaking up.
And then a couple months later, whatever, her and Maud's son break up. And then Maud's son and I just bond, we click. We're like, this past 2 years of our life. Eventually, him and I start dating.
Years after this drama between the throuple, each would come out trying to explain the complexity of the situation, all saying it wasn't as straightforward as the press made it seem. Tana was dating other people during this time, and Maud claims he was not interested in dating both women.
She has me watching these polyamorous TV shows and on HBO. I'm like, yo, no, all right? I don't want to do this. Like, this look weird as to me, and we're watching like, no, watch, like, this is how it works. I'm like, that is not cool.
Although Bella has said that it was Maud pushing this storyline in the first place.
The guy that I was dating at that time, then he ran with it and wanted to be he publicly ran with it and wanted to, I got these two baddies.
Honestly, I just don't really care at this point. Throuple behind her, the same month Maud and Bella broke up, she started dating Italian pop star Benjamin Macolo and announced she had a new sexuality.
Oh, I realized recently I'm actually pansexual.
The summer of 2019 would prove to be a turbulent time for the actress, as in June, her nude pictures were stolen by a notorious hacker. Bella was furious and refused to pay the ransom and instead released the explicit images herself. While some praised the woman for her bravery, others, most notably Whoopi Goldberg, criticized the move, resulting in Bella posting herself having a meltdown.
And I just want to say that me watching this interview made me feel really bad about myself, and I hope you're happy. I really do. I really hope you're so happy, because I can only imagine all of the kids who have their released and then they commit suicide, and
In 2021, the FBI would get involved in the case, and the hacker, Joseph O'Connor, was arrested in Spain. After releasing her naked pics, the social media star published a book called The Life of a Wannabe Mogul Mental Disarray. As the story goes, Bella had handwritten 2 books and then lost them on a Delta flight. This prompted the actress to write this book of poems in only 2 weeks, presumably because she had a contractual deadline by her book publisher and needed to send them something.
Life's a big dump. Just flush it. Don't forget to use toilet paper because it could make your ass sore.
It shows how rushed this book was, as it includes random drawings and scribbles and is about Bella's mental health struggles and relationships. This was during an era when every influencer was getting book deals, and it's clear why that has since slowed down. The book also includes a dedication to her mother about their strained relationship. After reading this poetry/stream of conscious text, I can say I didn't find it very enjoyable. Whole lines are crossed out, several words are misspelled or sloppily made up altogether. I'd also like to point out that the publisher had to pad out the book by leaving half of the pages completely blank, really highlighting that this book was made in just 14 days. Thorne would then do a bunch of interviews, including Howard Stern, to discuss her book, but for the most part, most of these podcasts asked about her relationship with Mod Sun and the news that Tana Mojo was married to Jake Paul.
What do you think about the wedding? Is that for real?
I'm not going to comment on the wedding.
No.
Publishing poetry wasn't the only thing Thorne was working on during this time. She also released a cannabis brand called Forbidden Flowers in late 2019. No one was surprised by this move, as she had been extremely outspoken about her love for cannabis and how it helped her anxiety.
It's awesome because he has told me before, like, B, you're the only one that could keep up with me. And I'm like, Snoop Dogg just said that.
Her collection costs between $30 to $50, and the Star claims that it has the highest CBD concentration at the time. Keeping busy, Bella decided she wanted to direct movies next. While that wasn't strange on its own, eyebrows were raised when she decided the best way to break into this space was to direct an adult film.
So actually for me, I'm like, no, too much penis, up camera.
For some added context on how this came to be, Miss Thorne had recently become friends with adult star Bella Danger. Danger had even been featured in one of Bella's music videos where the two get married and then writhe around on a bed together. With a friend to be the lead star, in September the adult movie was released and was marketed as a sexually explicit reimagining of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Thorne would also compete as a masked singer and star in a heist thriller called Infamous. However, none of these projects would generate the wealth the content creator was about to receive when she decided to create an OnlyFans account in 2020. As it turns out, between having her nudes leaked, hanging out with Bella, and directing an adult movie, the actress may have figured why not go fully down this lucrative path herself. Of course, when publicly asked why she did this, Bella claims she was researching a role for an upcoming movie with Sean Baker, who specializes in writing stories about sex workers. But the strange thing is, Baker denies to have ever planned on working with Thorne. Regardless, in just 24 hours, Bella Thorne earned $1 million from her OnlyFans, and after a week that doubled. By the end of the month, the star had made allegedly $11 million. But those impressive stats didn't mean those who subscribed were impressed with her content. You see, she charged $200 for a pay-per-view of photos which she claimed were fully nude, but instead they were just her in lingerie. Disappointed, OnlyFans was flooded with chargebacks as people felt cheated. Not too long after, the company would limit the amount that creators on the platform could charge, but deny it had anything to do with Bella.
Bella Thorne, she apologizes for ruining OnlyFans. I gotta say, it's pretty incredible that Bella Thorne came in and f***ed up the entire platform.
Under fire for misleading content, Thorne claimed that all the money would go to charities or fund her production company, although she doesn't appear to have provided proof that she followed through with this claim. In 2021, Bella would get engaged to her Italian pop star boyfriend, and shortly after break off the relationship with really no explanation. Following the split, she started a jewelry brand called Thorne Dynasty in tribute to her deceased father. Moving on from this venture, Bella started a podcast with her sister Danny in 2023 called Twisted Sisters, so that they could share their interesting conversations.
Oh yeah,
it's like when you're in the shower,
seeing it on the wall,
and then
going down your
back. You're trying to your butt crack. Why is it always on your butt crack?
It was also this same year that she announced her engagement with producer Mark Ems, who is 20 years her senior. The two would be living in her giant California home, which itself grabbed headlines at the time. Beyond having a cannabis bar and disco room, she created a mega-sized bathroom that she told MTV is to hold orgies. After more than 2 years of being engaged, the couple hadn't gotten married, so many wondered if they had broken up. Thorne would open up about their relationship, claiming that they had been working on a project together and had some tough times, but were still an item. Bella then re-proposed to Mark in May of 2025 because she wanted to flip the script. Beyond this, over the last few years, Bella has kept a quieter social media presence and began working on various short film projects. This doesn't mean she doesn't occasionally speak out though. In 2025, the actress called out actor Mickey Rourke on Twitter. "Gross, I had to work with this man. In a scene where I'm on my knees with my hands zip-tied around my back. He's supposed to take a metal grinder to my kneecap, and instead he used it on my genitals through my jeans, hitting them over and over again. I had bruises on my pelvic bone. Working with Mickey was one of the all-time worst experiences of my life working as an actress. And that marked the most recent time Bella made headlines showing the dark side of the entertainment business, but I doubt it will be the last. At the end of the day, I find myself rooting for Miss Thorne even if she is often erratic and self-destructive. Rarely do her antics harm others that are not also involved in the antics, and it seems like she is at least somewhat self-aware of her oversharing, since after all it does pay the bills. Honestly, her dipping her toes into the world of adult content kind of falls into line with her MO when you look back on her story. I can only hope she's able to level out moving forward, because the hectic drama-filled life in the public eye is never sustainable.